So I'm trying to use the latest versions of the Hadoop 3.3, I think 3 point something. So that's the current latest stable versions available. So you can use Windows 10 or the 11, the latest versions of the Windows operating system. That's pretty much fine. If you use Windows 7, that's also going to work. Right? There will be no issues. I tested already. First, if you're trying to use Hadoop setup, then you need to have this Java installed. So especially the Hadoop itself, it has been designed using Oracle Java modules. So you can use, so normally when you installing the Java, then in normal cases, that's completely different. That's going to be Java SDK. That's completely different compared to Java JDK. So JDK means the Java Development Kit. They continuously change the name, but when you go to the website, it doesn't say Java JDK. They changed the name. It says Java SC Development Kit, right? It says. So if you go to this Oracle website, you can download it. So in our case, I'm trying to use the Java version number 8. So current latest for Java version is Java 11. However, the latest version sometimes it doesn't work with the Hadoop environment. So that's why I'm trying to use the stable versions Java 8 for this case. So if you want to, if you have already installed the Java JDK, then you can try setting up. Otherwise, you'd better install this Java version number 8, right? So here, however, the Oracle website, if you go try to download this Java, you cannot easily click and download. Why? Because they changed the policy. So if you're in Unity, you must create a user account, and otherwise you cannot download it, right? Alternatively, you can go this website. So this website is public website. It's a part of the university. Some person uploaded the Java JDK. So if you go there, let me just go. So here, a bunch of files are available, right? So among there, so since I'm using Windows version, so this is the one I'm trying to install, right? So if you're using Mac or Linux, you can use these other versions as well, right? So I already clicked and download it, right? So you can download it again. It doesn't take that much time because the university network is pretty fast, right? So it takes less than 30 seconds, so it's pretty downloading, right? Right? Once it is downloading, what you need to do, then you need to install it, right? By default, when you're trying to install, it is trying to install under the C drive, under the program files. However, when you are running Hadoop, there is a big issue happening because of this white space in between program and files. So if you're installing Java JDK in this default directory, then it's causing a problem. So you need to change this to something else, right? My recommendation is change this to this. Under the C drive, then creating Java, and then under there, so you can set it up the Java versions, right? Simply, here is the things. So let me try to click the downloaded file here. So if you click executable, download the executable. Oh, I do have already. Yeah, I have installed for the testing. When I was doing the testing, I have installed already the Java version number 8. So it is going to show up this first. So when you open that, then here, oops. So it's going to be Java number or the number is slightly different. So you need to change it to something like this. Right? How you can do that? So simply, if you are clicking this, change the button, then you can change the directory path, right? So making sure changing it, so as it says, right? However, once you finish clicking next, then it's also asking you again another path. So this is the Java JDK environment. So this is going to be the runtime environment. So there are two different things. So Java JDK is this one. You need to change the directory path, especially when installing on Windows machine. However, the second part, Java runtime environment, JRE, you don't need to change anything. You don't need to change anything for the second part. Okay? Only the first one, right? Making sure that. Then if you install correctly, then next step, you need to add this Java home. So in my case, let me go there. So here, I create the Java JDK, I installed it, right? So you need to set up into the system environment. So you need to add this Java path into the system environment. How you can do that? You can simply press the Windows icon button with the pause and break to open the system environment. Or if you just go to the File Explorer, so here, this PC icon, when you're clicking mouse right buttons, you can go to the properties. If you go to the properties, and then keep going down, you see this. Advanced system settings, right? When you're clicking this advanced system settings, then you will see these system properties, okay? Within here, you are able to change the system environments. At the bottom, you will see here environment variables. If you're clicking the environment variable, you will see these environment variable pages. In here, as appear in the presentation slides, so you need to add this Java underscore home directories, right? So here, I'm clicking the new buttons in Java underscore home. The variable path is going to be, you can simply select the path. So that's going to be Java, and the JDK. Open it. What is that? That's weird. Let me manually enter. Java path is the C drive, JDK. So this one. I can just copy and then paste it here. Right? And then click OK. Then you will see this Java underscore home directory added. Right? And then clicking OK. Right? Then now you finish up the Java environment setup. Next, you need to add this Java home directories as well into the path. Right? So let's go back and then click environments. So here, there is a path. Instead of clicking new, because you are modifying the directory path, so you need to click this edit. Click edit. At the bottom, you just need to click new. And then, can I do this browsing? I think so. I can do the browsing, local, Java, JDK, bin directories, okay. Right, so here the Java, JDK 1.8 underscore the slash bin, right? And click OK. Then you added this one, right, correctly. So click OK. So then you will see the Java bin directory is added into your path. That's important. Right? Now you finish up the Java setup. So the next part is going to be Hadoop setup, right? So if you have Windows machine, you can follow up right now. So it's going to be good opportunity for you to catching up. It's not that much hard, right? And then Hadoop, you need to download these Hadoop files. So, so in our case, so currently latest version is going to be 3.3.4. However, instead of this 3.3.4, I'm trying to use slightly previous version of 3.3.1. Let me explain later why I'm using it. Okay? So this is going to be the Hadoop website. So I just added the Hadoop direct link, but you can also download it by going to their website. So let me just open the Explorer. So let me just open this one. If you open the web browser and Hadoop, so here, the Apache Hadoop, this is the environment. So you can click the download path, and then choose the previous version. So here, the current latest version is 3.3.4. Instead of this, we are using the previous version because previous version is going to be much compatible with our Windows operating system as well as the Mac operating systems. So that's why I added previous version, the link website here. Windows 11 is fine too. So if you're just clicking this, so I'm clicking that, automatically it will download. So it's pretty big, almost 600 megabytes, but at the university, it doesn't take that much time, right? But depending on the internet speed, it's going to be, it probably takes more time, but, currently it's already finished up downloading, right? So one thing you have to making sure, so let me just delete this Java file. So this is going to be the file. As you can see here, this file is extension ending with zzip, right? So that's compressed files. However, you cannot use Windows existing compression or uncompression utility. So you need to have third-party softwares, or you need to use command prompt. For here, so you need to making sure using either some freeware software, 7-zip is freeware, or if you don't want to install that, then you have to use command prompt. So here in part, this command prompt exists in already installed on Windows 10 or later versions, not the previous version of the Windows. So you need to have to use this. If you're not familiar with the command prompt for uncompressing the compressed file, then you better use this 7-zip. Okay? So I already have the 7-zip installed in my machines. Let me show you how you can do that. So if you just click mouse right button click, then you will see this 7-zip, right? So here I need to go to extract here. If you're extracting first, it converts to compress the zip to this tar files, right? So with tar file, you need to do one more time because it's a second compression, right? So you need to do that. So now I'm trying to extract to Hadoop 3.3.1, right? So you're automatically creating this folder and uncompressing into the folder. So it takes almost one minute. So it's depending on the speed of your computer machines, right? So it's not that much. It doesn't take that much time, right? So once after, so let me go back. So while it is uncompressing, once after you uncompress those uncompressed materials or the files, then you have to move to this folder. For doing that, you have to creating under the C drive, you're creating this default folder. our case, we are trying to use the same folders. That's why, that way I can easily explain where you can find some of the files, right? So let me try to creating these folders. So big data analytics. So C drive. So here I need to create folder big data analytics like that, right? And then on compressing, it shows some of the possible errors, but you can just ignore that. That's compatibility issues between the Unix and the Windows. It's not a big problem, right? So now you need to move. So you need to cut this, and then move here. I'm pasting it. I'm moving everything on compressed folders into this under the C drive big data analytics. Okay. All right. So it's done. Right. Now I finish up this conversion, the uncompressing and the moving the uncompressed files to under this C drive big data analytics. Now, what you need to do, you need to add additional setup for the system environments. First, you need to add this Hadoop home directories. So for the Hadoop home, you need to go back to the system properties, environment variables. So here, so similar to the Java home, you need to add Hadoop home directories. So Hadoop home directory, now the path is going to be this, right? So I can easily copy and paste, right? So here, paste it, right? So Hadoop home directory is going to be C underscore C drive, big data analytics, and Hadoop home directories, right? Okay. Once you finish that, you also need to do additional environment setup. Especially these Hadoop bin directories, you need to add, similar to the Java bin directories, you need to add into the path. So here the path, edits. So you need to click add new. So here, you can just browse it. C drive, big data analytics, Hadoop bin directories. Now you add it, right? Also, one more thing. For the Hadoop, you also need to add bin directory as well. So there are two bin directories you need to add into the path. So here the bin, the another one is going to be Hadoop. There's bin, this one, right? Now, once you finish up adding this bin and bin directories, you can click OK. Click OK as well. So now you finish up, right? Once you do that, then you're pretty much done. For the testing purpose, so this is important. You need to open the command prompt as a system administrator. Okay. So in the search box, CMD, mouse right button click, run as administrator. And then change the path to big data analytics. Oops, sorry. CD, data analytics. And here, what you need to do, you just need to enter this Hadoop. So if there is no errors popping up, then your environment setup is pretty much done. Okay? The next step is going to be system setup. So when you're trying to run the Hadoop in Windows operating system, you have to recompile all the binaries. However, luckily, some people did the pre-compilation done, and they posted all the pre-compiled versions of the Hadoop, especially for Windows. So if you're using Mac, you don't need to have these steps, right? You need to copy, download some of the files, especially those 4 files you need to download, and then copying them into the bin directories, Hadoop bin directories. This is the important part. Otherwise, when I have to run Hadoop on Windows machines. So this one, so download Hadoop DLL, and then Hadoop library. So keep that Hadoop library, download. Download. What's going on? I'm downloading. Oh, I clicked it multiple times. And then WinUtil executable, this one, download. The last one is lib library WinUtil download. So 4 files you need to download, so as indicated here, right? So if I go back to the download folders, I clicked it twice, that's why it has 2. So these 4 files you need to copy, you can cut it, right? Then move to the Hadoop directories, Hadoop bin directories. So you need to just paste it, right? So this is the important part. Next, you need to set up this system setup file modifications. So first, you need to, there are several files exist as a system environment setup. So first one was core site XML files. If you, that's under the etc Hadoop home directory, etc and Hadoop directories. If you go there, let me just go back, Hadoop, etc, Hadoop, then you will see the core site.xml. So this core site XML, if you open that, so you can open it any editors, right? So you will see this kind of files. Inside of these configurations, you need to making sure you're placing it with this. Just need to copy this. They like this. If you're not able to copy these contents from the from the lecture materials, you can also find these details on the Blackboard. So let me show you. If you go to the Blackboard, so I just in case I copied those XML contents, hands-on activities, first one. So here, you can find those configuration files, right? You need to modify by referencing this. Then also you need to modify this HDFS site.xml as well. So here, HDFS sites.xml, right? Also inside, in between the configuration, you need to just copy and paste. So there are several options you can modify in the setup, but those setup is pretty stable. You do not need to worry about, changing or modifying it. Yeah, another one is yarn site.xml. Also the same as you just need to copy and paste. The last one is map reduce site.xml. So here in between the configuration as well, just need to copy and paste, right? So if you look at the core site first, core site is trying to set up the initial directories then as well as the temporary home directory where your data file system is going to be located. The HDFS sites, so this is important. You will see probably here some of the replications. Not clear. So let me try to open the file with the editor. Notebook. Yeah, notebook. Right. Can you see that clearly? Yeah. If you look at here, so HDFS site, it is using DFS. DFS means Hadoop file system. It has a replication as one. Replication means in Hadoop environments, when you're uploading a data files, it is creating some kind of duplication factor. So it's the same as you're using Dropbox or OneDrive, those kind of cloud-based storage services. When you're uploading your files onto Dropbox, it automatically creating, by default, 3 duplication factors. So each of the duplicated files are located and get stored into different server machines. However, in our case, we're using only one computer, so we do not have the connected computer, right? That's why we just need to have one duplication, right? And then also, so here this power permission. So in open cloud facilities, they normally have this kind of permission set up. But in our case, you are the only one using your computers and the hardware file system. So initially, I set it up as force. The permission tag is not going to be managed. And then also the web-based hardware file system. So we can navigate through the web browser's hardware file system. So I set it up as tool, the web-based hardware file systems. So those are the important parts. Then I go back to the slide. So those are the important parts, right? And here, yarn side and the MapReduce side, those two are going to be used as a MapReduce capability for the computational purpose. So we're going to talk about the MapReduce next time. However, if we do have time, then I'm going to address what is going to be the MapReduce kind of technology. However, so it has a different kind of, the technical management facilities running as a background resources, actually handling those MapReduce computations. So that's why it is trying to use MapReduce computation, how it is handling. Right? And then also all the libraries and as well as Hadoop home environment need to be set up properly. So making sure this XML files is going to be only for the Windows. Keep in mind that if you are copying this, the values as here like this, the values begins with percentage symbols, then that is going to be only the path indicators that works on Windows machines, not the Mac or the Linux machines. Keep in mind that. Okay. Then now you finish up the setup. So let's try to start the Hadoop systems. First, you need to open up the command prompt using as a system administrator. If you open that already, then that's fine. So I already opened up, so I can skip that, right? Then you just need to enter the HDFS here. So if you just enter HDFS, so normally if you made the mistake of setting up, then you will see a bunch of errors here. But there's no errors and anything, right? So that means your setup, environment setup, Hadoop Cloud environment setup is pretty much well defined. Next, when you are trying to use cloud computing facilities, especially Hadoop cloud computing facilities, then you need to, after completion of the system setup and completion of the system environment setup, then you need to first do the Hadoop file system format. So this is trying to do the Hadoop file system formatting. So it's the same kind of mechanism when you're purchasing hard drive, new hard drive. First step you need to do is formatting. right? It's the same kind of mechanisms. So in the command prompt, what you need to do, you just need to enter HDFS, name node. So let me just increase, I think I can increase the size, right? Yeah. Yeah, I can, yeah, I increase a little bit. So HDFS name node dash format, then it is trying to do the formatting. So you do not need to worry about anything. But here, the same as before. If you're facing some kind of, if you made a mistake on system setup, then you will see some kind of error message. So far, I do not have any kind of error message here. That means Hadoop setup is pretty much well done. Next step, I need to start the Hadoop, right? So all the environment setup has been completed now. So here is going to be start up the Hadoop file systems, right? So how you can do that? Simply you can enter the start dash dfs.cmd. Then it is popping up two different kind of terminal windows. So one is going to be the data node. The other one is going to be the name node. Two nodes are going to be automatically popped up. And then it's going to be maintained there continuously as long as you're running the Hadoop computing systems. So there is no errors whatsoever. So if there is some kind of setup errors or setup mistake, then it will terminate itself, right? And then also, the second part, when you're trying to do the Hadoop computation work, then you need to start yarn. So here, go back to the original. Try not to, so making sure, try not to terminate this automatically popped up terminal window, right? Making sure that. And then here, you need to enter Hadoop yarn.cmd. Then it will pop up also the two different kind of node manager and the resource managers. Also making sure, try not to kill any of those kind of command prompts. If your setup is incorrectly managed, then while it is trying to launch this the resource manager and the node manager, it is going to terminate itself. If it is terminated, that means your setup is completely wrong or made a mistake, right? All right, now I do not have any issues. Then what I can do, I can simply go to the web page, right? So you can just simply clicking this, then you will see those Hadoop is running on my machine currently. If you set up properly, that is going to be running on your machine as well. So here the overview is pretty much active. And then how much storage space I do have, how much distributed file system I'm using, it shows all the details, right? And then also, next page, I can also use this yarn, the Hadoop file system management part. So when you are submitting some kind of computation work, that's going to appear here as a log files, right? And they're also going back to here. If you're trying to do the navigating the Hadoop file system, so you can simply click this utilities and then browse the file system. Then you will see this is going to be the main Hadoop file system environment. It's just simply the same as you're using the file explorer, right? Going back to the slides. When you finish your job, then you can terminate, right? Termination is going to be pretty the same as you're starting and stop, starting the data managers and the yarn the same ways. So instead of start, you just need to start with the stop yarn.cmd and the start.dfs.cmd. Then automatically the terminal window will be closed, right? So that's pretty much it. Any questions? Yes. No. So you have to double check going back to the previous stage. For example, when you see some kind of error messages, then probably the error message is going to happen because you didn't set up properly on these configurations, or maybe here, like the system environment setup. So you need to go back and double check whether you entered the correct information there. If you're still facing a problem, then you can post a message on the Blackboard, or you can, if you are using your laptop for, running your Hadoop, then you can bring your laptop to class, then I can help you definitely. Okay. Any questions? We good, right?